This movement I'm going to go over is called the 45-degree back raise. It can also be known as a 45-degree back extension or a 45-degree hyperextension. And this is what I think is the best accessory movement for improving somebody's deadlift. So the first thing you're going to want to work on is your form. But if you do this movement, it's going to really hit your hamstrings, like especially right behind the knee here. It's going to hit that area really hard, strengthen everything from your speed off the floor to your lockout. It will also hit your low back, but this is what I think is hands down the best deadlift building exercise based on anywhere in your pull. I don't care where your weakness is, this is going to build that weakness and strengthen it. So what I'll do here, I start out with the bar on the floor. Oftentimes you'll see people do these with body weight, or they'll hold a plate or something like that. We want to really overload this movement to get a lot out of it. So the best way to do that, we're going to put a bar in front of the machine here, just like we would for a deadlift. So you're going to have to adjust. You're going to have to play around with the pad here and get that adjusted properly. You want it kind of high up on your hips. It'll take some pressure off the knees. If you get it too low, you're going to feel a lot of pain in your knees. You're going to feel discomfort there. So that's when you know the pad's too low. You want the pad high enough where you're not feeling a whole lot of pressure there. So I think I'm going to go up a notch. See how that is. So right there, that's perfect for me. The pad's basically, the top of the pad is right where my hips are, right at the top of my hips here. And what that's going to do, it just makes it a whole lot more comfortable. That's where I want my leverages to be. I'm going to put my feet actually pretty wide here. My feet are going to be wider than they would be for my deadlift stance. I want a really stable base, so I'm going with my feet all the way out to the ends here. I'm going to turn my toes out a little bit. So you can see my feet are really wide here, toes pointed out. The bar is lined up in the middle of the machine here. And what I'll do, I'll just reach down here in between. I'm going to put my hands at the start of the knurling. And then you can go double overhand. I think that's probably the best way to go. And then if you can't do double overhand anymore because of grip, just do it with straps. I wouldn't really do this movement with a mixed grip. So what I'll do here, start of the knurling, put my hands, grip the bar. Just gonna come up like that. Pretty simple. Sometimes your arms will run into the handles here. So you have to go narrow enough where that's not going to be a problem. Some people are built a little differently and they're going to run into that problem. And there's not a whole lot you can do about that other than playing around with your grip width. But just do the best you can. The movement's going to be worth it. Another thing you can do, just to change it up, you can hold it at the top for like a 5-second isometric, 3 to 5 seconds. That'll just hit things a little differently. So as far as the two different ways to do this, typically I'll just pull the bar up just like a deadlift. I won't hold it at the top. I'm not really thinking about like flexing my glutes or anything like that, contracting any of my muscles. I'm just trying to essentially get the weight up to where my back is parallel with my legs. The other option when you do the isometric hold is that you can contract your glutes, your back, all those things, and hold it for that 3 to 5 second count at the top and really squeeze and try to get the most out of it. But typically I do the former rather than the latter. It's just preference. Either way is going to work. But this is the best movement you can do for improving your deadlift.